We're back at EBNTV. Today we're getting to Kodak Black. We could have been superstar. Now you gotta kill this because it's not safe for you. We have Kodak Black discussing the baby with the dreadlocks because my man's been shredding the hair. He been getting the length. Now I recently just seen the baby picture where he had them lengths and them long johns. I was like, well, he got hair, and then he wasn't bald, but he was letting the low light Caesar rock for quite a little bit. I ain't gonna cap to you, my boy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you. He was doing his thing with that. You know what I'm saying? Not to get it out of control. Let's get back to the damn topic. We got Kodak Black with a tweet that says, "Y'all won't believe who I'm in the store with right now." Y'all won't believe who I'm in the store right now. Ty, well, both of us go, so I think so. I hope so. You know what I'm saying? We got Kodak Black discussing at this point what I believe to be the baby. Now, there is a video of Kodak Black and the baby getting crunk after they start playing the song in the background. He was in the studio with the baby. Now, the baby was decanceled for quite some time by the LGBTQ community, and he was able to buy his way back and be able to get to weather the storm of all that John, all that jazz when it came to the LGBTQ community on his ass. You know what I'm saying? They found out where his shows was at, and they canceled his shows. He said, "We on your ass, where your shows at? We found the shows, haha, get up out of here." You know what I'm saying? No more shows for you. He said, "We on your ass, and we found the shows." You know what I'm saying? So understand that Kodak Black is an individual that he is a GOAT. Is the baby a GOAT? I think that Kodak Black is definitely a GOAT. Now, the baby, people don't really talk too much about that. Now, the baby has its own unique sound that has yet to be replicated, but it is kind of a sound that people attribute to coming from a Migos flow. Like I've heard a lot of people think that the baby sound like the Migos, right? But the baby is kind of like stayed in the game long enough that you could say this is the baby flow because he does it his own way, you know. So but I've yet to see a copycat of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does have a unique enough flow that he can switch it up. He can hit the vocal intonations. He's a great writer, great pacing, and you know, dope delivery. So it's like it is gonna be hard to replicate that. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely seen a lot of Kodak Black people that like you can vividly see his influence with, like the Wicks and like the gold stuff. But the gold is like a Florida thing and stuff like that, but like the style of rap, the content, you know, and all the iconic things that he does, you know what I'm saying, the little slight dance moves, you know what I'm saying, like Kodak is an iconic individual, you know what I'm saying, he's up there, you know what I'm saying, definitely hip-hop Hall of Famer in my book, you know what I'm saying. Is the baby a hip-hop Hall of Famer as well? That's a whole different conversation. I told you, like, that man, like I said, to me, to be a legend, you have to also have shown that you have clear influence on someone as well. Now Son of Vegas is definitely a person that has the influence there, and he also has a couple of artists as well on the $1 Billion Baby Entertainment Enterprises, where, like, you know, you can hear the influence that the baby has on them. But you know, we have to see them like actually like pop first before we see like the real influence, and if like the baby influence is one that can actually maintain and be able to finish out the course. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen a lot of Kodak influence very fast. You know, it came to even like Young and Ace and Bulio and LPB Pootie and Pooh Shiesty and Young Boy. Like you could that's 5 off the rip. That's 5 off the rip. That was just off the rip. That was just off the rippo. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, that's off the rip. Now I can't name you 5 people like other than Son of Vegas, and you know, a couple other ones that I've heard, you know, in passing or whatever, maybe done a video, but you know, the baby's influence is really like prevalent right now, you know. But he's also still kind of new, you know. He's popped off really, like he was already doing his thing though. Don't get it misconstrued, but like I think like around like 2018, 2019. That's when he really popped off. But he popped off strong because he already was in the game for quite some time. Like he was already putting up stupid numbers before he got signed to Interscope. But then Interscope happened, and he had the Breakfast Club interview, and then it was over from there. You know what I'm saying? That's when people started to really tune into the baby and go into his lifestyle, go into who he was as a person and stuff like that. But the baby was already popping off before, like the same type of thing with You're Still Mine, Your Mind Still, you know what I'm saying? With Young Blue, he was getting billions of streams before that. Like my man was putting in twerk before people knew who he was. When he got Your Mind Still, he was out of here. Like he was been out of here, but then like out of here times 12. Now your grandma's grandma know who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like before you just had like, you know, a couple grandmas, you know, but now the grandmas and the grandkids, they all want a picture. You know what I'm saying? They want a family picture with you. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind still. You know when I go to see if she angry. You know what I'm saying? Lady, I've been noticing it ain't me, but you know what Kodak does say, that me, I, and the baby him are GOATs. Definitely let me know. Is the baby GOAT status? Is he GOAT level now? Has he reached the level of GOAT where he can bypass canceling, because he did. He honestly did. He was almost canceled. They almost got him up out of here. But honestly, I will say majority of the cancellations that have happened and really have not happened. Like to me and to others that I've had this conversation with, not even really just like my only sentiment on this topic. You know, if you can't outstand the mass force of the concept of cancellation, then maybe your star wasn't that bright in the beginning, because a lot of people have been able to bypass it, and you know, just really name some names like the Baby, Tory Lanez, Doja Cat. Like people have been canceled and been able to get about the mud, because people do be upset about things for the moment, and you know, everything happens at a time. You know, like people go through different stuff at different times and they get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like Russ was L Russ for hella long, and then he kind of just built up out of it, and people just one day was like, yo, Russ is dope, and that's really just what it is. You know, you got to just keep going with it, and eventually the time will be able to elapse the average individual's brains, and it'll just be a thing like, oh, you remember this, and then the only people that's really gonna remember are the people that really like study it, or people that really interact with it on a frequent basis because they choose to. You know, people, the average mind state, mind state, and you know, thought process on that is literally not to remember for quite some time. Like a lot of people don't tune back into the stuff that happened the year prior or the 2 years prior. You know, like, and then when the years go by, it feels like it was like 10 years, but something could have happened two years ago. It feels like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been 400, 600. 1,000 days, but it ain't even been that many days in the same time. You know what I'm saying? Time just be timing. You know what I'm saying? But Kodak Black says of all time, him and DaBaby are some goats, and that's possible. You know what I'm saying? DaBaby, I remember when that album came out. Damn it. I need me some interest in bop in it. You know what I'm saying? Shug reference. But DaBaby is really that guy. DaBaby, I remember I was listening to Physical. I used to listen to the album with Offset on it and a Pony and stuff like that. When I go through my physical therapy and whatnot, he know how to keep you jumping. He know how to keep the energy high. You know, he know how to keep the energy high, just like how Kodak was when he be popping a perk 30, because he knew the perk was fake, but he still ate it because he's a gremlin. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Taylor Elajas. Make sure you check out the rest of the EBN Music Media videos. Make sure you subscribe to Taylor Elajas vlogs on YouTube for more dope content, travel vlogs, hotel reviews, so on and so forth. Make sure you also follow the Instagram, Taylor Elajas, for funny short clips and satirical content, where the full-length episodes are available on my Roku channel, EBNTV on Roku. If you have a Roku device or a smart TV, you can type in EBNTV and we will pop up. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Taylor Elajas, and you're watching EBN Speaks.